What is up, ladies and gentlemen? The few gentlemen that do listen to us, but we know you're out there. It is Savvy Wavy 1, and I am with KOC. How's it going?
It's going chilly. I'm a little chilled. I tried to
Why are
turn
you
on
chilly?
because there's no heating or insulation in my building that I'm in, like the office, and there's a
Ever?
heat ever. Like it's too hot in the summer, it's too cold in winter, but we do have a fireplace. But
Ooh,
I couldn't figure out how to turn it on today. It's been 8 months since I've used it, probably, or not like 3 months, let's be real. Yeah, so I'm just sitting here for a reason. So it's a chilly
wow.
fall. But you know what? There's worse things. Worse things in the
I
world.
agree. You need some mittens.
I do. I just told myself it's cold exposure therapy. I'm
Yeah,
peak wellness right now.
there you go. How
'Cause-
was your weekend? I saw you were on a little
oh, it
travel bit.
was chaos.
What?
Absolute chaos. Because I did like a red eye on Wednesday night, delayed 5 hours. So didn't take off till 3 a.m. So that's fun. And then got there, had about 2 hours to myself, which I had to use to take a thumbnail. Talked on the YouTube panel. So much fun. Like I got to meet Kia Nurse and Adeline, who's another YouTuber. We've been like internet friends, so that was fun. But then that lasted all day. Went home, passed it for a few hours. On the way to the airport, delayed another 6 hours. And but it's like when I say six, it's never like, oh, you have 6 hours to do what you want. It's like 45 minutes to be back. We come back 45 minutes. They're like, oh, just kidding. Another board the plane. Sorry, we can't take off. Get off. It was like one of those. And then yeah, then came straight here to their office, edited all day, and yeah, so it was one of those weekends, but they also did the CIBC
Wow.
run for the cure. So that was nice. Little
Yeah,
5K with the besties. So that was peak happiness on the weekend. And that was my week. How about yours?
that was so busy. Oh my
It
gosh.
my sleep score.
And
Yikes.
congrats on the panel. I'm so proud of
Well,
you.
thank you. It was like actually this is pretty not to get cheesy, but I moved to Toronto September 25th or 24th, 2018, September 27th, 27th, so almost to the day, 5 years later. And I moved there to like try and become a YouTuber. I was like, I'm going to go put my whole heart into make this happen. And then 5 years later to almost the day, I got like invited back to Toronto to speak on a panel for YouTube. It was very like, well, had I only told like myself back then, who was like, I just got to do it, but I don't know why, but trust myself, I'd be like, good job, little Keltie, go.
Full
So
circle. I
yeah,
love that.
it was cute.
Do you mind speaking in front of people?
I love it. Like not to be like
Wow.
that person, but I
Yeah, you're
love
one of
public
those.
speaking. I love being on stage. I like feed off it. Like I can't sleep. Like I don't get everyone gets nervous. Like I'm human, but like I'm so excited and like the adrenaline high and like I love it up there. And I think there's a couple reasons, but like my mom was a keynote speaker. So I grew up like sitting on the stage while she gave her keynote speaker like in a little basket. And so like I just and then took acting when I was younger and then did piano and then sports and like obviously like I love DJing, but I always asked to do like class presentations. Like I can ace a class presentation, but my God, if I have to hand in an essay, heaven forbid. Like
Wow.
I can't grammar still, and people call me out on it all the time. I just don't have I just can't. I just can't. I don't. Nope. Don't got it.
Wow. But you're that one friend we all wanted to be partners with because you will do the majority of speaking for
Hmm.
those that are nervous and shy.
Oh, and trust me, I was like, I won't spell things right. You'll have to fact check everything I do. But when you hesitate for a second in that class presentation and you're like, "Oh, I'll jump in. I got you. Like, don't worry." I was like, I'll remember what you have to say and I could just improvise until you get it sorted out. And that's where I come in. I have my
I
flaws,
love it.
but that's my one strength.
Yeah. Well, congrats on a successful weekend,
Oh, thank you.
even though the traveling sucked. I traveled. I
Yeah,
went
tell it.
to Bordeaux, France,
Oh,
and it was
oh.
so fun. It was beautiful, and we just wanted somewhere that was low key, kind of quiet. And I think like Michael's uncle had recommended it. Honestly, I really wanted to go to the French Alps, but Michael won with the Bordeaux because he planned it and I did not because never asked me to plan anything.
Mhm.
But it was really fun, except I don't know if you'd be proud or ashamed of this. So we go to meet up with one of his friends that he met at a conference, And we meet up with him, his friends, his sister, and we like get dinner. And dinner in Spain's really late. Like we're
Yep.
still eating at 10 o'clock, 10:30. And Michael's like, I have a meeting, I gotta go. And that was kind of like our key to be like, okay, we're gonna peace out and go to bed early because we had a flight that we had to get up early. And we go over, or his friend's like, oh, don't worry, my apartment's right next door. We can do it. Do a 30-minute meeting. We'll come back, meet up with the girls. And we're like, oh, okay. And they end up being an hour late because after his meeting, they drank at his apartment just chatting. And then they're like, we're going out. And where we were is like this restaurant that like becomes a club at the end. And
Yes.
he was like, I have to show you, because he lives in Barcelona. He's like, I have to show you what we like to do. It's so fun. All the locals go here. I hate clubs. So I'm like, oh God. And I'm looking at Michael and he was like, he like, I just met him. Come on. Like, then the guy never drinks. It was the first
Yeah.
time he had drank in like 6 months. I'm like, and you chose tonight? I was happy to have a quiet night. So we end up getting very intoxicated and like out till 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
Michael and I literally leave for the airport at 8 a.m.
Oh, I saw
Michael
that.
was like, we're not going to go. I'm like, we're going, bitch. If you force me to act this way in Barcelona, if you force me to club, you're taking me to Bordeaux where I can
Yeah.
have wine and just sleep. And so we did it. But we were so hungover and kind of still drunk in the airport. And I was cackling because I put on my close friends because I used to do that all the time back in college when I studied abroad. So it just threw me back to the memes. But I was so close to vomiting the entire trip. Thank God it was just an hour and a half flight. But like, I'm not kidding you. So close did I come to getting sick, and I have not been that hungover since my bachelorette party. Like, why
Wow.
did I do that to myself?
Yeah, sometimes you just
Why
need
did
the
I say
little
no?
reminder. Sometimes if there's ever a time, I'm sorry, you got it. You know what? You just have to be in the moment. You were in Spain. It was until
Before
3 a.m.
flight?
I know exactly, but
Ooh.
that's like the one time. It's not like you're going for business. You don't have to be
Yeah.
productive in the morning. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm proud of you. Is it the
Michael
best?
wanted to go, well, he wanted to go to Mykonos. And thank God we didn't, because that would have been like a 6-hour travel. I would have definitely yacked
Oh,
on a plane.
yeah, that's
Like, yeah, absolutely. But this leads me in Bordeaux, my first hot take.
tell.
And that's because I bought a skort for it.
Hmm.
Skorts are in. I don't care what you say. Throw away the shorts. No, actually, throw away. No, I like shorts. Throw away the
Okay.
skirts. I hate skirts
Yeah.
because I feel like, one, they never cover my butt
Yeah.
appropriately, and two, you can't really wear a thong. Like it's things are going to be shown, right? A skort is practical. I can do a cartwheel, but I also haven't bought a skort since I was like 5 years old, and it was printed with daisies. So
Mhm.
give it or take. Like the back is not always the cutest in a squirt, I'm not gonna lie, but the front, you look amazing. So that's my
Yeah.
first hot take.
Here's my question for you. Do you classify tennis skirts, or are you saying casual skirts when you say skirt?
Mine, what the hell's a tennis squirt? Mine was
A tennis
like a
skirt.
proper skirt.
So you mean
Oh,
when it's like, yeah,
you
because
mean
there's,
pants underneath. No, this was a real
oh,
skirt.
oh, so when it's like the
Like,
skirt in the front, the shorts in the back.
yes,
Okay, there. Because when
yes.
you said like skirts are in, because technically a tennis skirt is
Yeah, you're
also a
right.
skirt. So I was like, girl, you're 3 years behind when I first saw it. I'm like, but now, okay, now I respect it. Now I respect this hot take.
That is just like a skirt with built-in pants to me.
True.
This is like I had skirts growing up because they
Hmm.
were practical when you were a
Yeah,
kid because you could run around, nothing's popping out, but you
yeah.
also like your mom wants you to look girly, right?
Well,
So I had never bought one
well, you could be
until
ahead of the times because I was listening to Vogue's podcast and they're talking about because they're already doing like spring 2024 in like the fashion world, like it's all ahead. And Prada's whole thing, spring 2024, is like shorts, like everything. Because it's always skirts and pants. Like shirts don't really have a moment in high fashion, but everything was shorts. So you could be ahead of the trend here. Could be a
let's hope.
sport short. I'm all for it. I'm team shorts. So love.
Absolutely. What's your first hot take?
Okay, my first one is actually I'm going to lead off what we were just talking about travel influencers. Okay,
Mm.
they have the beautiful aesthetic. Everything is Chanel and their beautiful away suitcase and their masks and they're sitting there and it all looks luxurious and clean and they always look 10 out of 10 and the cutest travel outfits and just love it. Love it. I consume so much of it. And I'm always so envious. And I'm sitting there being like, oh, I wish I could travel as much as these girls. Da, da, da. I was like, Keltie, you live out of a suitcase. What? Like, it dawned on me this, this week as I did my crazy travel days. I was like, but where's this disconnect that you're traveling just as much as these girls, but yet I'm like looking up to these girls. I was like, and I'm not hating on it because that's their whole brand. It's beautiful, it's aspirational. I admire it. I steal a lot of their outfit ideas. But we got to remember traveling sucks so much. And like, I love it. Trust me, it feels like a blessing anytime you get to go. Like you get to see the world and all that. But you know what? No one's showing the fact that I had to pay $15 for a sandwich because that was the cheapest thing I could find and sit on the ground, the dirty ground, to eat it in the middle of this airplane with no, no sleep in me. And the entire time people are screaming. There's no common courtesy once you're in an airport. Like people will just butt you, they'll move aside, they'll plunk their elbow. It's like all politeness is out the window. And my eyes are dry, my skin's breaking out. So it was just like my hot take is just reminding everyone traveling once you get there and get settled is great, but like actually traveling, like the airport and the experience is don't glamorize it. Like don't feel bad if you're sitting at home and you're like, oh, look at these people traveling. It seems so great. It's not, unless you're a billionaire and travel first class all the time.
I completely agree with that statement. But even if you think about it, like with social media, like all I saw was you did a YouTube panel
Yeah.
and then you did your run, right? I didn't
Yeah.
see all of the horrible,
Exactly.
right? So it's totally, they're just
Mhm.
not showing you the reality of it.
Mhm.
So I completely agree with that statement.
I actually was like, "Ooh, I've only filmed half of this because I'm at my wit's end, but I think I'm going to film a realistic travel routine." But like, I feel
You
like
should.
sometimes already overdone the look how real I am. But I'm like, no, I'm actually just remind everyone that traveling is stressful beyond belief. So if you're at
Yeah,
home, enjoy the coziness of not having to wait in a dirty airport. And that's my hot
that
take.
is true. That is true. Okay, I like it. All right, my next hot take is I don't know why. It just dawned on me. Nobody
Mhm.
did it specifically. Maybe social media did. Maybe I was
Mhm.
scrolling, but it just appeared that people that love clean products, and I'm a big clean product girl
Mhm.
too. I'm
Yep.
becoming one actually. I'm not the best,
Oh, nice.
but I'm trying to change my ways, okay? And clean products is in like do you know what I'm talking about? Those
It's
people.
like it's not they're like no Clorox, no Windex.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all baking soda,
yeah.
vinegar, natural. I know.
Absolutely. And I'm there for it. But this is my pet peeve is when people like hate on others and make you feel really shitty for not having a clean product. Or like it's almost like you could tell them like a little heads up, "Hey, did you know this? Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you." From then on, shut the fuck up and like live your clean product life,
yeah,
but don't make others feel bad because it can definitely be like a privilege thing. Like
definitely.
those people that post like how toxic your dollar soap is. And I'm like, do you understand that not everybody can afford to import this $10 soap that's supposed to not give you weird hormones?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was just on my mind when I was writing out the episode was I really can't stand those people that just make you feel like utter shit. And I'm always that person that gets like they make me feel bad. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, I get it. And I think it's cool and I take away the knowledge. But I'm also like, note,
Yep.
don't do that to other people.
There's a couple podcasts I listen to and I love them and they're awesome, but they're like crazy on that. And like it's not their whole thing, but like sometimes like I'm like, oh my God, my entire life is killing me. And I get such
I'm gonna
anxiety
die.
about it. Yeah,
Mhm.
versus being like, let's lay I like the ones who are like, oh my God, this is my new favorite product. I love it's clean. I feel good. Like it's all like, ooh, I'm excited to do that, unless like the world is killing me. And if you do this, you're dying and all that. I'm like, I like that. I like make it aspirational, don't make me feel like a failure.
Absolutely. All right, what's
I
your
like
next
that.
hot take?
Actually, kind of a little in that world. And when someone tells you something that they're going through, whether it be health, emotional, work related things, like don't be dismissive. I think like, you know what I mean? Like when someone's like, oh, like this blank blank gang happened to me. And they're like, oh my God, well, I'm so glad it wasn't this that happened to you. And you're kind of like, well, yeah, but like, I feel like crap. You know what I mean? Or it's just like, oh, I know someone
Mhm.
else that it's like, oh, I know like five people that happened to. And you're like, I
Mhm.
know I'm not the only person that went through this. But you know what I mean? You're like, you go to someone who for something and then they just make it like, oh, everyone deals with this. There's way worse that could happen. And like here's I'm like, is this the common courtesy we should eat? Like I think about this for my friends, and I hope people think about this. And correct me if I'm wrong. What you should do is first let the person feel like crap. Be like, I'm so sorry that's happening, or not sorry because you didn't do it, but like that's gotta suck. Da 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 da. Like let the person kind of, but only give them a few days. And after a few days, you gotta remind the
Mhm.
person. Like you can't let someone wallow in it forever because if they wallow in it, that's a place. Like, but you gotta let people wallow a little. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's why.
Mhm.
Is that a good way to be a friend? Does that make sense? Doing it like that way? What do you think?
Yes, I think that's such like a hard question because I
Yeah.
think sometimes those people might, well, I don't know where their intentions are coming from, but they might
Hmm.
be like problem solvers naturally,
Hmm.
you know? And so they might be like, this is how I solve my problem or
Hmm.
your problem and want to make you feel better. So they're like, maybe if I put them in this comparison or, oh, it's really not that bad. Because
Yeah.
I know my mom and I have communicated where my mom will call me up and tell me something and be upset. And I used to be
Hmm.
like problem solve immediately. This is
Yeah.
how I problem solve. And she would get so upset and she's like, I just want you to listen to me and
Yeah.
like just understand how I feel and validate it. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay. And so now we do. And literally when I saw her, she was like, you've done a better job. A part of me still wants to problem solve
Yeah.
and be like, this is how I can help you. And so that's where I feel for those people
Yeah.
because I also think I agree with the only allow them a little bit
Yeah.
because our society, we can easily get in our own brains and be like,
Yeah.
I can't fix this. And then you're like, that's not solving anything. Like we have to be proactive somewhere. So I think it's good if you're like, okay, you can revisit it and be like, you've been sad about this now. You either change it or X, Y, and Z, but you got this amount of hours. I think
Mhm.
that's a good idea.
You know what I like? How about this? This is a double whammy. Validate, problem solve. First, you validate them, their emotions are real, they feel it, and then after a little bit, we solve it. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
The
That's I
key is to
like that.
wait on solving it. That's what
Yeah.
I've learned.
Okay, I like that. That's like both of us coming together. You can't
Yeah.
wallow in it, but you got to validate the feeling. The feeling's real, but you got to be action. I like that.
Yeah.
New mantra. Validate,
New
problem solve.
mantra. Yeah.
One,
And
two.
also it's always good to have those conversations because
Yeah.
I remember I would get like offended at my mother for saying that. And my mom's like my best friend. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is my best friend telling me, hey, this doesn't help make me feel good. I don't want to tell you like what's going on because I think you're just gonna try and solve it immediately. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not what you need. Okay. That might be what I need and how I can like feel like I'm helping, but that's not the point. It's her
Hmm.
point, right? So it's a good little compromise.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so should we get into the topics? Because we got a loaded little convo today.
Let's get this rolling.
Okay, so first things first, the new iPhone. Yay or
Mhm.
nay for you? You're such a tech
Depends.
geek.
I
What do you
here's
think?
my simple. If you had the most recent, so this is the 15. It was the 14 before, right? If you have the 14, you're good. Unless you're like someone who has to be high tech, just stick with the 14. If you're like 12 or behind, it'd be worth it for the camera and all that
What
kind of
about
stuff.
13?
13 depends. If it's your job, you might, I hate to say it, Kate, just going to be 100% honest. If your job is filming content and photos, if you're 2 years behind on an iPhone, your content starts to look like low budget compared to everyone
Mm-hmm.
else's. Because everyone else is like, that's why you like look at these girls like, why is their Instagram story so crisp? They just have the newest iPhone. That's all it is. So like,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're someone who's just posting for fun with your friends, you can get up to like the iPhone 12 before it gets like noticeable. The 11 and 10, it's gonna be a little noticeable, but it's not the end of the world. Just think if you look at like your old photos. But like I said, unless you're actually creating content and getting paid, so it's a business write off, I don't think it's worth upgrading unless you have the 12 or below. But for my content girlies, if it was advice and you want to have that crisp, beautiful, you have to upgrade every year. It sucks, but that's why I was like business expense and sell it. But I don't know if I'm going to upgrade yet.
Oh,
So because you kind of have it written. Do you want to read the hot takes and then I'll respond to the hot takes about the new one?
okay, yeah. Yeah. Um, so, well, I'll give the pros first because
Hmm.
I never know what the pros are. And so I think I have the 13. I didn't buy it last year because there was no significant difference.
Hmm.
And they even said, like, I went to the Apple store and said, should I buy this? And they said, wait for the next one. And I was like, all right, cool, saves me money. So this one, the pros that just generally reading online, one has a new camera, always better. And literally, I'm not kidding you. I think this may be a conspiracy. I think that like they literally, these iPhones shit themselves when the new one comes out. Michael and I always have the biggest issues with our iPhones right around launch because they want you to get it. So like mine's
Huh?
not charging.
Here's actually like a little thought to prove the conspiracy, but also like I'm not saving Apple's butt, but here it just logistically makes sense. What happens every year? There's the new Apple update, the new phone. There's a new big update. Now, the old phones are not built for the new update. So suddenly you have a new program running on an older model, and so they always run a little slower. It's a lot more powerful. The new update is not for more powerful phones, so it drain your battery and all that. So it is like a factual conspiracy theory. It does happen.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
So, new camera, they said it's better. So, I'm like, okay, check that out. Two, better water resistance. So, it can now cover 6 meters for 30 minutes. Instead, it was 1 meter of
Mhm.
water. I literally would never submerge my phone. I do not trust Apple because my Apple Watch died
Yeah.
like with water damage, even though it was water resistance. So, that to me, I'm like, meh. There's more storage once again meh for us because the storage limit does not exist. Graphics are improved,
Mhm.
but do you want to say what the big problem is with it right now?
So all over, and this has been confirmed by tech YouTubers. And no offense to TikTok, I just don't know a lot of the TikTok. I actually know a few techies, but the YouTubers are the OGs. Um, yeah, it's getting hot and burning people. Not actually burning, but it's getting crazy hot. Um, and it seems to be so random. So do you know who MKB is? Marquez
Uh-uh.
Brownlee? He's
No.
like probably the YouTube tech guy. Like Apple sends. He was in the Apple presentation, like his quote. Like that's how big.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like the real deal. And he always has like several phones on the go because he's testing them. And he said there's no rhyme or reason why this thing just suddenly becomes burning hot. He was like, it was on airplane mode, not using it for a few hours, and he took it out and it was like scorching hot versus he'd been like streaming and doing all these like crazy things for hours on end and it was fine. So
Weird.
I don't know what that is yet, but I also haven't heard anyone who's like, oh, my phone's ruined because of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm like,
it's
mine
like,
gets really hot too, but it's like, I just let it cool off. I just don't use it for a little bit. It's like if I'm
yeah,
taking a lot of videos or photos, that's
yeah.
when mine gets really hot.
So I guess the weird thing is like it's not correlated to that. Like it just is
Yeah, it's
randomly
weird.
doing it. So that's the weird
Mm-hmm.
thing. But like my laptop gets toasty sometimes. But I won't lie, that water resistance is speaking my name. Because I've done like I I I will do crazy things with my tech because I would like I'd always rather get the shot and sacrifice the tech versus the other way around. So like I've dunked like my iPhone's very water resistant, I would say. So
I don't
I
trust it.
trust it. I trust it to an
My
extent.
phone, literally, I was charging it in Bordeaux, and it said water, like it couldn't be charged because there was water. I wasn't near any water. I was not sweating on my phone. It was in my fanny. Sus.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, sus,
Yeah.
guys.
I believe it.
But I
I
will
sh
be purchasing the new one. I just am like, you know how you can like go through your phone plan,
yeah.
or you can like go through Apple. I need to just look into it. Very
Mhm.
excited.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, after 2 years, I'm like, and I'm a content creator. Time to upgrade.
Yeah.
Keltie's always lecturing me on that.
I
So
am. I was, but also keep in mind, I'm the person that has an unfurnished apartment 2.5 years later. So doesn't have a car. We all have priorities. I will always get the highest quality footage I can
I
for
love
the
it.
people, for the
Yeah.
people.
Okay. Next up, this tube girl trend. Please
Mhm.
tell me you've seen it.
I have, but I also haven't like, I'm not, it's not my, in my algorithm. So I haven't fully consumed it, but I've seen like three girls do it. And then I've seen the reaction. Like I've seen I'm getting a lot of like the guys filming a tube girl doing it. Do you know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
getting a lot of those right now. I'm getting a lot of those.
I really love that about social media is how like this girl is so random. How she got tube girl, I have no
Yeah,
idea, but it works for her and she pops off. And I just had
yeah,
to say props to this girl. I have tried the trend. It's very fun. Honestly, it's a
yeah,
great time. But that's all I see now on my stuff, even on Instagram, is
mhm,
like that like point 0.5 zoom out with like a bright light and then
yeah.
like your hair is getting whisked. So yeah, I just had to see. Are you gonna try it?
I mean, should I try the tube girl trend? I need to do it like
Absolutely.
where should I do it though? So it's different. Because like the New York's been done. I got to do something.
We're in Vancouver. How do you
Like
get
we got a
around? Just
train.
walking?
Yeah, I guess I
You
could
don't have
do
to
it
be in a
walking.
tube.
I know,
You
but I
know
would
that,
say,
right? Oh.
yeah, I know, but like I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not doing it on the SkyTrain. People would be very upset that they're in the background of it in Vancouver.
Very upset.
Very. It's not
But
like New
honestly,
York, but
I think it's cool because like she inspires me even to like just feel more comfortable filming
I
myself in
love that.
public. Because sometimes I'm like, I get so like feel awkward, and then I'm like, why? If these people had a problem, they'd say something, and it's fine if they make fun of me. I'm never gonna see them again, never
Yeah,
again. So
I I
yeah,
lost that embarrassing. Sometimes I feel bad, so I try to be like, don't be insensitive to who's behind you. But in terms of like people staring at me, I've got it to the point like in Vancouver where people will just point and I hear them whispering. I'm like, cool,
you're
that's
like,
nice. Yep.
hello, hola.
That's why I like my microphone because they're like, oh, is she on a news station? No,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
in
you
no.
do have that big old chunky mic
I
now.
put that and I put it on my tripod, and then people are like, must be mainstream media. I'm like, nope. It's a
They're
girl
like,
in a
she
tripod.
must be a news reporter.
That BuzzFeed?
You're like, yes,
Yeah.
go to
Yep.
tasty.com.
Yep.
I'm reviewing, I'm a food critic.
Actually, I'm going to just say that. Food critic with Tasty.
That's exactly what you should do.
Should I go undercover and say that and see if I get free food?
Absolutely.
I like that. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. You should try it because
Okay.
you're in iconic places right now.
I
So,
did try it.
did you? I haven't been on social media
It's on
this
my
weekend.
TikTok. I
I
mean,
know.
my TikTok, I just kind of fart around on it. I
I love
like
it.
literally just film random bits of what my life, and I'm like, meh. But I did try it, and then now I can't get the 0.5 to work for me. So people, if you
Oh.
know, on TikTok, my phone just all of a sudden stopped. Once again, my phone, cancel
I
her.
I never
Um,
film in TikTok. I always film out, so I can't help you there.
but like if the point is you have to be on point with the music mouthing it.
I just know that I can do it without it.
Okay,
What can I
I'm
say?
not a talented DJ. I definitely cannot do it without it. Um,
Or you just play it. Also, you just have it playing somewhere else. So
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
She's a
Michael's
thinker.
phone. Michael's phone playing. Point 0.5. Shoot it. Boom.
That's
And it'll
true.
also be higher quality because it's not in TikTok filmed. And I always feel
That's
it's
true.
higher quality if it's not filmed in TikTok.
Okay, how about here's this. You film it and you put it on our Instagram, and I'll film it and I'll put it on our Instagram.
Perfect. Done.
You guys are allowed to roast us, or hopefully we look cool. A lot of these girls look
Hopefully.
cool. They look
Yeah.
hot and sexy, and I'm like, damn.
That's all. You just have to go into the mindset of like it's a switch. You have to be like Beyonce, turn it on. Like you can't be like,
Beyonce.
oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I'm gonna fail. You're gonna be like, I'm the fucking hottest thing. Everyone is going to be obsessed with me. Let's go. Boom. And you have to think that fully for 10 seconds, and then you can laugh at yourself after. But that's how they nail
Absolutely.
it. For 10 seconds, you are Beyonce.
I
Only way to
agree.
nail it. Or Taylor.
Yeah.
Pick your choice.
Side note on Taylor. Did you see she went to another game? I
I
literally went on TikTok today and said Taylor news update because I hadn't been on. And she went again with Sophie Turner, Blake Lively, and then also like this one girl, her name's Brittany. She seems really cute. She's like a NFL star's like
oh,
wife.
is that
Imagine being her. And just all of a sudden she's besties with Taylor Swift. Damn.
she
Damn it.
married well. She
I
married
was
well.
just
Smart
gonna
girl.
say
Smart.
smart girl. But yeah, iconic. I won't bore you guys with that because we've had a lot of Taylor Swift, but I'm here for them. They seem very cute, and let Taylor be a fangirl for once. That's all I gotta say.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
living for it. Living for it.
Living. Michael literally sent me an article today being like, did you know she actually boosted the economy? And I was like, yeah, bitch, that's like news from 3 months ago, but you're welcome.
You would love this next week's YouTube. That was like the opening line to hook of my YouTube was about Taylor Swift boosting the economy. So
Can't wait to watch. Can't
love it.
wait.
With like 30-second hyping of being like, Elon Musk. Have you heard of Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
He wishes he could boost the economy like that.
Exactly. All right, next up, there was like this weird trend right now of like, where do you shop for your winter fall jackets?
Mm-hmm.
This will be just like a quick one for me because I don't live anywhere cold.
Mm-hmm.
But the trend right now is Costco.
Yeah,
Costco is an OG. And literally I just thought it was ironic. I call it my puff puff. I've talked about it before, where it's like this old dingy little puffy jacket that I've carried around since I studied abroad in Barcelona 8 years ago. And it's from Costco and I'll never get rid of it. So I 100% agree. Costco quality is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This has withstood any other brand I've ever shopped, but I also keep a North Face vest always. And then Michael loves Save the Ducks. I don't know if you've ever heard of that
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he loves it. He's obsessed with how plush and cushy it is. But this is definitely more your segment. So
Ooh,
how
I
about
will
it?
say like 3 times a week, someone DMs me this and I send them a whole list. So I was like, I'm just going to compile all of it because a lot of people are like, I moved to Canada. What do I do? I was like, I got you, girl. For your hot girl walks, it's freezing. I'm going to talk cold weather, not like damp weather. You know what I mean? So we're going to go that
Okay.
way. First, sorry, this is going to sound like a plug. It's not, but Lululemon's winter jackets, if you're in a place that is wet snow, unbelievable. They're water and they're not crazy expensive. Like you get like a $200 to $350 Canadian, so like 150 to 250 American dollar, 100% waterproof, minus 30 Celsius jacket. And like your rainproof puffers only last a few months and then it like wears off. Mine have lasted years. So you get the short one and a long one. You need a short puffer and a long puffer. And like
Okay.
that's my number one tip. Like save up to get both because as soon as you have a short and long one, you're like ready to go for either. But that's my like affordable. Then if you want something a bit more chic, you don't care about waterproof as much. Super Puff by Aritzia. They are. I have the vest and I also have it. And you can get it like exactly to match your wardrobe. That's why I like it because they have like glossy, they have matte, they're corduroy, they're simple, they have different waterproof, they have every color. So you're like, ooh, I'm a pink girl. All my accessories are pink. Like you can get like so your winter jacket matches all your clothes. Super Puff. Because everywhere else I feel like gives you like 5 clothing options.
Yeah.
It's super puff. And it's once again, I know $300-$400 is expensive, but if there's one clothing item to spend money on, I feel it's winter jacket because it will last you like I always say buy
Forever.
one that will last you 5 to 10 years, not one that's like a season one. Um, like for example, I've dreamed of having a Montclair jacket. They're so beautiful. They're not as practical though. I've heard like they're not as waterproof, but they're definitely like chic. But like I'm saving up 1 year, I'll buy the beautiful one. And then I'm
Okay.
gonna mention a few others that are controversial, but some people don't mind this. I've had a Canada Goose and they are unbelievable. They're because they're meant for like the Arctic. So if you're like living in northern Canada and it's freezing and you need something that's going to keep you warm, that's going to do it. Now, ethically, it is with geese feathers, some of them, but
Ooh.
I will give a tip. And this is like I have one and I'm embarrassed to wear it because it kind of people see it and they think you believe in animal cruelty if you're wearing a Canada Goose. Like that's kind of because it got all that bad stuff. I've noticed the best brands are always the ones that got in big trouble 5 years ago because then they have to fix everything versus these other
Mm-hmm.
brands who haven't been caught are kind of like, oh yeah, we do a little. We kind of do a little. But if you go to the brands who got fully called out, then they will have every marketing thing and they realize they screwed up. Because I went on Canada Gooses before this and I was like, their entire jackets are recyclable. They have ethically sourced gooses. I'm not promoting them. You got to figure that out if it's worth it. But just
Ethically sourced goose. So the goose are still dying? The geese?
I think it's like because that was the big problem. It was like they were like
Oh.
being killed inethically to get like the
Mm.
feathers, or like they were being plucked alive, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's why I was like they went under, and that's why I stopped wearing it because I'm like, ooh, I don't support this. But I'm just saying, look at. I'm not. Do your research, John, what you are, but I will say
All right.
they're really warm. So
Okay.
some people are okay with it, some not. But
Okay.
here's my biggest tip. Because if there's ever time to get like one of the brand names, so that's a Montclair, Canada Goose, all these like $1,000 jackets that they look chic. They're waterproof. Like you put on your outfit, it's like put together. You don't feel like you're in this frumpy thing. But like I said, $1,000 for a winter jacket is absurd. Consignment stores. It's the
Mm-hmm.
call. You go there, you get them like, and especially in a place like Vancouver, because there's so many people who have so much money. They buy it for a season. It's one season. They don't want to wear it anymore, but it's still a long dark puffer. Like it's fine. Like that will never go out of style. And so you can get them like half off as long as you're okay with having one season. So
Okay.
and also what I did is I just took all my like Canada Goose ones, brought it to consignment store, sold it, and I just used it to get a Lulu and a Aritzia. And that's all I'm rocking. But there's just some
Okay.
tips secondhand.
Love it. I gave you 4 minutes to speak on your jackets. So
I
there
tried
you
to
go.
condense it. Sorry.
I know, I read your notes. I was like, oh dear God, this lady's gonna make the whole thing about it.
I
But
can't
no,
because there's so
I know
many.
you
There's
love
so
jackets. I know. I did that to myself. I just wanted the Costco. But it was
sorry.
great and it was very helpful. And I hope the ladies will, honestly. If I live somewhere cold, I'd be writing that down.
It's a
Um,
complicated question. It's not simple. It's not black or white.
I know. I love it. Okay. I just want to make sure we had time to review these
Mhm.
fitness trends that I was cackling at.
Let's go.
And it's a yay or nay. Okay.
Okay. Love it.
And right now, ankle socks are back, tall socks are out. Yay or nay?
Nay. I love tall socks. Wore them even when they were out. I'm a basketball player. I just think they're in because ballet flats are back in. There's my thought.
Okay, see, I yay it because one, my calves are humongous. So
Mm.
tall socks make my calves look even larger. And I just don't like the look. I never have, so I would always
Fair.
roll them into ankle socks. So the fact ankle socks are cool now, I'm so excited. So I
Fair.
buy Nike ankle socks and they help me prevent blisters and I no longer look like a freaking nerd.
There we
So
go.
if you don't have long, gorgeous legs like Keltie does,
Oh, thank you.
we're all happy. We're all happy. We're all happy about
See,
the ankle socks.
yeah, it's all because I got these scrawny ankles, so I need to wear it to bulk it so it semi matches my calf. See
I
what? We all
would
got
I would kill if someone told me it's scrawny ankles. Um, but no, I'm just a thicker queen, okay?
dress
But
for what works for you. That's
exactly. Okay, yay or nay, booty leggings. We all know what that means.
like, do you mean like I don't like
Oh,
the ones with the scrunch or like
yeah.
boot? Yeah, okay, yeah, love it.
You like them?
I was like, it sometimes it makes it so obvious I got a tiny butt, but sometimes it's like, oh, she's got a butt. So it all depends on the
Mm-hmm.
brand. I'm like, yay-ish.
I agree. I have really been into them lately. I've been wearing the Honor Effortless ones, and they're not very obvious, which is nice because I remember the ones I used to wear prior, you could tell the scrunch because the material didn't match it, where this one does. So you have no idea. It's just like in the butt. So
Mm, that's what I'm
that's a
talking about.
yay.
Yeah,
I'm here for the booty leggings. If not,
love
my
it.
butt looks very frumpy. Um, okay, yay or nay. Yay or nay, outdoor apparel is fashionable for women.
I 100%. Like that's I love a functional, fashionable outfit. Like it's a
Yeah,
trench coat that's waterproof and warm. Oh, that's like Canada and Sweden combined fashion. That
I
combo.
agree. It's my kind of fashion. Just make sure it's functional. There's
Mhm.
nothing that grinds my gears than when I step into a store like Forever 21 or something and they have a raincoat and it's not even real. And I'm like, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
So, absolutely. Functional. Maybe that's our age speaking, but I don't
No,
know.
I feel
No?
like it was like at 13. I was like, I still want this to be comfy and warm, but I don't want to look like a shrub.
A shrub.
I don't know. I
Okay.
just trying to think of a
I
word.
don't know that. Don't want to look like a big old shrub. Um, okay. I thought you'd like this one. Yay or
Mm.
nay, fitness trackers are no longer just on the wrists.
Boom! Aura ring. Love it. Obsessed. I
Love
get
it.
asked about it once a day. It's a great conversation starter.
It is. It is. But don't let it get into your brain.
No, it's
Like
just
Michael. He can't wear
yeah,
it anymore. He's too into it.
yeah.
He
I
was
just
like,
have
I'm not sleeping right. And then he's not sleeping right because he's thinking he's not sleeping right.
yeah. There's two types of people: the type that become obsessive and feel they're failing, and the people like me that are psychotic and are like, "See, I win at life. I'm winning at everything," and just turn it into a game
Absolutely.
that I get to win. I don't lose. I just win.
Love that.
Toxic.
No, that's not toxic at all. Um, if you were a man saying that, they would be applauding you.
True. If I was Brian Johnson, they'd be like, "Oh, quack, quack, quack."
Literally. Like I've heard those quotes on podcasts and they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. But a girl says it, she's a bitch. See, a
So
bitch, not a
full of
baller.
herself.
If I was a man, you know what I'm
Right.
singing?
Like Taylor Swift.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Last but not least, long sleeve tight tops are back, like the Lululemon zip ups.
The Define jacket, you mean?
Sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew you'd say yay.
Yeah.
I say nay because I hate any. I like baggy things because I have a sweating problem with my armpits. And I think I've talked to you
Fair.
about this. I've even talked maybe on the podcast, maybe
Yeah.
off. I don't like things touching my armpits. So I struggle. I will wear a zip up, but that puppy's coming off if I have, if my temperature changes at all or if I like last longer than 2 minutes wearing it at a gym. She's off. But it reminds me of Desperate Housewives. I just feel like I used to see them always wearing those, and that's what I think of.
Yeah,
And I love
I
that
like
show.
it. Sometimes I love like an all black, just tight fit. Like I feel like a superhero. So you're all black defines it, but black leggings, wear my black boots, got a hat, and I'm like, ooh, superpower. Sometimes I look like because I got a really gangly arm. Sometimes it's borderline like cartoon
Uh-huh.
or sexy superhero. I toe the line, but I love it.
Toe the line. I like it.
Mhm.
I say sexy superhero. You know, when
Thank
I
you.
see you wear it, I say sexy
Thank you.
superhero.
What's the waving inflatable tube man? I sometimes give that energy too.
Or
But
I think of the Incredibles. What's her
yeah.
name?
Oh, the stretchy arm person?
Rubber band
Yeah.
woman.
I get that analogy a lot on YouTube. Like when people like comment, they're like, you remind me of. I'm like, cool. Thank you for
I would
that.
take that if I was you. So that's actually, I think that's a compliment. I
Thanks.
would,
I'll
I
take
would
it.
think if I was the tube flying around, I would say that's a compliment.
I'll take it. I'll take
Mm-hmm.
it.
You just have to green screen yourself next to one.
Yeah, I am beside a green screen. Should I put it? Just
You should. And be
okay, I'll
like,
do that.
vote right now. Let them
Right.
roast you.
Superhero or inflatable tube man? Which is she?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now is time for our confession sessions where you submit your most unhinged moments. And you guys, DM us them. We will never share who you are because
Unless
nobody
you want
wants to
to.
be known. Okay,
Unless you
I've
want
never
to.
had someone say that.
True. You never know. There's some
Let them
clout
live.
chasers out there like I want this known. You never
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
I'm on it.
Okay.
Because I saw one word, I was like, this screaming me.
Okay.
I was at a club last weekend for my friend's bachelorette and went up on stage to ask the DJ to shout her out, but tripped over a speaker on the stage and ate shit in front of everyone. But she still got the shout out and it was worth it. And I'm like, you know what?
I
Respect.
love
We've
that.
all been there. We've all been there. And you know, all I could think of, I was so worried she like knocked out the speaker system. I was thinking
Yeah.
that. Just know there's girls who have dunked drinks on like the DJ's controller. Like you what? It just made everyone laugh. You got the shout out. The DJ will remember you. So next time you go up, he could
Mm-hmm.
probably be like, hey, remember me? And you'd be like, oh my God, crazy girl, what song do you want? Like he clearly still liked you or she because they gave you the
Mm-hmm.
shout out. So you're
I
memorable.
agree. I was thinking that if she didn't fall and
Yeah.
trip on stage, they probably wouldn't have done it, but because they felt bad for her, they were
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, this poor girl, we got to get the shout. So that's how good of a friend you are. You sacrificed your own embarrassment to get your friend a shout out, and that deserves a reward.
Absolutely. All right. Here's the next one. This one is very applicable to my life. Most unhinged moment of the summer. My husband and I are currently on our honeymoon in the Dominican Republic. Congrats on getting married. We booked a snorkeling excursion this morning on a catamaran boat, and I got sick twice. I had no idea motion sickness affected me that bad, and I even threw up literally when we were swimming with the fish. Oh well, we still
Oh,
had lots of fun, and the crew was amazing and took good care of me. 10 out of 10 recommend if you're not a motion sickness girly like me. That's
oh,
horrible.
that's rough.
With the fish. I hope nobody was around you.
You know what? The fish probably loved it. Like, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
you probably really got to snorkel and see them.
Yeah, they were probably coming for you. You got to see. You know what? You were feeding the animals. You were
Yes.
being not wasteful of your food and feeding the animals.
That's so
That's
gross. But
that's so rough.
I
Sorry.
completely understand and resonate with her because
Yeah.
I cannot do certain things. I get super motion sick. Like, it's a big problem. I'm really worried as I get older because it gets worse and worse. But I took Michael for his birthday last year to like a deep sea fishing thing with him and our two guy friends. And I thought, what a great way to bond. And I literally had a full blown panic attack because I didn't know where to puke. Like, the boat was moving. We're spinning in circles trying to catch this fish. And I lost all feelings in my hands. And I literally, Michael had to stop fishing. And my two guy friends were like, what do you want me to do? And I said, don't look at me. So I
Well,
understand you. And literally, good for you for at least getting sick because if you don't get sick, you're just going to feel worse and you're going to have a panic attack. So works out.
sometimes like that. Just better out than in, Shrek would say.
Yes. All right. Take us home with the last one.
Last week I was going to run on the treadmill after weightlifting and realized instead of a clean running bra, I had taken the one I was wearing the day before. The smell was horrible. But I didn't want to miss my run, so I still put it on and went on the furthest away treadmill so no one would smell me. And of course, right then, 3 people I knew showed up and came over to say hi, and I felt so ashamed, never making that mistake again. You know what? We've all been there.
We've all
I
been
was
there.
on the airplane because I had to get up early. I forgot deodorant. We're like going back and forth. I've been on this plane for like 8 hours, and I kind of got up and I smelled myself, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I'm that person. You know what? We've all been there.
We all have been there,
You know
girl.
what?
Don't, and at least you're at the gym.
Yeah, true. It's like, yeah, she's sweating. Like people are like, she probably
Yeah,
worked
she's
out
just a
really
little
hard.
extra smelly.
And you know what? If I've learned anything, the best case in that situation is to call yourself out on it right away. You go to hug your friends and just be like, I'm so
Yes.
sorry. I forgot a sports bra. It's the bad one. Because there's not, if they're like, oh, she knows it. But if it's like, does Samantha know she smells bad? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's just call yourself out right away. Be like, I'm so sorry. I forgot it. That's diffuse the situation.
I completely agree. And yeah, don't even sweat it. I mean, literally last
Pun
night, Michael
intended.
and I are cuddling. Wait, that's hilarious. Don't sweat it. Hey, but a ching. Uh, yeah. We were cuddling last night watching a movie, and I like put my head on his like shoulder trying to be cute, and he's like, "Your hair smells like sweat." Like I can't smell it. But like I don't wash my hair a lot of the times. So I was like, "You're not wrong." And then I'm like, "Oh, you don't love me." And he's like, "Yes, I do. I don't want to." It's like in his mouth. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, sorry. Did the dry shampoo not work?" So I
It's
washed
like,
my hair before this.
just
It's
like,
hair
you know
wash
what?
day.
You're stuck with this for life. So deal with it. Learn to
Yeah.
embrace the smell.
Yeah. But like, some girls do not sweat in the gym. Like I was at a Soul Cycle class in New York, and I have this vivid memory of this gorgeous girl that like wasn't even glistening. It looked as if she did nothing. And I'm over here, no matter what, I drip sweat in my hair. Like I shower.
Yeah.
Basically. I've blow dried my hair sweat before. Like I have no shame about it. And you shouldn't feel shame about this. Just
No,
you're good to go. Good to go.
exactly.
Hmm.
We're all built different. We're all built different. Some
We built different.
all
But
will like that.
yes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's podcast. Thank you for listening. Do not forget to leave a review, give us a 5-star rating if you want to be so kind. I would love that. And check us out on Instagram because we post really funny reels, and we always ask you to vote or submit a little confession session.
Bye bye.